Literally tired. I just walked up a bunch of stairs. So
there's an elevator, Brett.
I know.
We couldn't throw the kid in
That's my
an
first
elevator.
thought. I was halfway up the stairs, and I was like, I know there's an elevator.
There's an elevator
here.
in
It's
this place.
2016.
Right. Dave and I have an 11-minute conversation. You catch that breath, and then you
I think I got my breath.
Well,
back.
we were
Thank
just
you.
talking about. So the only thing that this is your first media day as the guy that's getting shuttled around.
Have we annoyed you
minute.
enough yet, or is this?
Are you tired of us yet?
No, I'm literally tired. I just walked up a bunch of stairs. So
there's an elevator, Brett.
I know.
We couldn't throw the kid in
That's my
an
first
elevator.
thought. I was halfway up the stairs, and I was like, I know there's an elevator.
There's an
here.
elevator in
It's
this place.
2016.
Right. Dave and I have an 11-minute conversation. You catch that breath, and then you
I think I got my breath.
Well,
back.
we were
Thank
just
you.
talking about. So the only thing that we can do as media members is go, what was the old regime like versus how are they doing it now? And media day, we were just talking about some differences, and that is that I said, well, I didn't notice a difference first, and I wasn't looking at a difference first. The first thing I noticed was when we sat down and we started to hear from you and your coaching staff, it was 100% apparent in minute number 1 that you were like, first of all, I don't like all this stuff of me talking about me. And I was like, hey, we know that. We've seen that before. And I think most college coaches just go, hey, I know we have to do this, and it's fine. And I kind of like talking to guys about my team, and I like getting us out there. But the part where we have to be like, hey, what's your favorite sandwich? That part, it probably isn't a lot of fun for you to do, but it's something that's kind of part of the job right now, at least, right? When people get to know you.
Oh yeah, definitely. And it doesn't have to be. I think too much focus is on the coaching staff and myself, and we're trying to just keep it focused on the players and what we do as a program. And I'm very thankful for the coach Mendenhall that what he's done here, and not trying to. It's not like we're coming in and cleaning house and changing everything up. There's a lot of things that have happened at BYU, and that's built on the tradition, and a lot of that has to do with Lavelle Edwards, Gary Croton, and Bronco Mendenhall. So we're really excited to continue the tradition, and really excited the role that we have, and I'm excited that a lot of these guys have experience being football players here and know exactly what BYU is all about.
I've got a question here for you, because I know that, and Dave and I were looking at each other going, look, Coach is going to be so annoyed with all the same questions all day. And we love, as media members, to ask you about stuff you have no control over. We're like,
Okay.
tell us about the rivalry. What is that like in the future? It's like, well, I don't exactly know, but I know that Coach Whittingham is a friend of mine, and I don't think that you need to burn somebody's BYU tree in front of their house to make a point. But let me ask you about stuff you can control. Mm-hmm. The Big 12 thing was always funny to me when they go, tell me about the Big 12. It's like, what am I supposed to do? All I can do is coach a football team. But what do you feel like you do have the most control over right now over this football program?
Just the day-to-day things with the players. I mean, my job and my number one role is to take care of the players, and so that they can play the game to the best of their ability and feel comfortable in their own skin, especially being part of this program and part of this school. It's a unique school, but I also want to highlight their strengths and the things that they do well, and just really excited about the type of athletes that we have here and the caliber of the character that they have, and that's what I'm excited about. I'm not really focused on all the other stuff, even though it does happen. I know that my job is to be out here and be the spokesperson and talk a lot, which I'm not really excited to do, but I'll do it all for BYU because I love BYU so much.
You know what? If we take a little flashback, 2010, 2011, you're the defensive coordinator at Utah when all the craziness happens as far as conferences. And when you're at Utah ends up going to the Pac-12. You see BYU move independent. What were your thoughts when you saw BYU taking really that unprecedented jump just to leave a well-established conference that they helped create and to jump out and say, all right, we're going to do this on their own? What was your thinking really from the opposing team?
Well, my first thought was that because you'd imagine that BYU and Utah would go together, but when that didn't happen and BYU went independent, I understood exactly what was going on, and it was to hold the opportunity to play each other, and that took precedence over everything. I can't really answer for Tom Homo and the reasons for everything, but from what I saw and what happened, I thought that it was a move to keep the rivalry going, the games going. And if you look at Utah now, currently, they don't play Utah State. That's in the Mountain West Conference. And when you're tied to a conference, you're not able to have the flexibility in the scheduling. So I thought that was one of the things that, hey, let's keep the rivalry game going. And BYU's done a great job of doing that for not just since the Pac-12 for Utah, but BYU's done a great job at holding that game on for many years, for decades. And I like the fact that game's still on the schedule.
Were you surprised? Were you thinking, oh wow, though, that is a bold step to jump out independence, and how are they going to be able to, and now you've seen it happen over the last 6 or 7 years. What are your feelings? Did it play out kind of the way you had maybe anticipated when they first made that leap, or has it been better or worse than you thought?
Well, it was more like that BYU can sustain it and do it. That's when I saw that. I said, not a lot of programs can do that,
right.
And I think there's probably maybe just you can count on one hand that could actually do that, and BYU, it makes sense, could do that. And I can't sit there and say, oh, yeah, I knew this was going to happen. But I think you can tell what the reasons were, and you can understand why the moves were done. And now in this position, really appreciate the opportunity that we had to play that game and the schedule that we have right now. That's all due to the fact that move was made.
Kalani Sitake, head coach of BYU football, joining us here on BYU Football Media Day 2016. Reno Mahe came on our show one time, and he was talking to us, and he told us a story about how he had been, the hiring process that he went through. And he said, look, all the things that I've ever done and all the things that I've ever been a part of that people know about me, the negative and the positive, everyone knows about it. It's all out there. And I'm waiting. I'm sitting there by the phone, and I'm waiting to see if I'm going to get hired. And he says, and then coach calls me up again, and he does this whole, you sure there's nothing? Because they told me, is this the guy? Is this the guy? And the emotion that he had of that when he goes, and then when he's like, nah, man, I'm just playing. When you told him, nah, man, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. You're good. They cleared you. And then, like, I said, what was that like? And he's like, the hugs and the high fives and the screaming and stuff. And I thought, what a fun thing, and what an amazing moment. He also,
and what a great joke,
and what a terrible friend you are.
I know. Payback's going to be really tough.
What I was thinking from Reno's comments were that he goes, look, I said, what do you love about Coach? He goes, aside from the personal things, he's an amazing recruiter. He doesn't get enough respect for that. And he said, but his most amazing recruit job so far has been to bring Ty Detmer to the program. What's it meant to have Ty in your meetings with you?
It's huge. I don't think anybody takes on this type of job thinking they can do it on their own. And so I knew I had to have a great group of guys that can help me, and to join the great group of people that are here at BYU already. And so to have Ty join the group and to see the way he handles himself, it's a perfect fit. I know there's it's crazy. There's some people that thought, well, he's doesn't have a lot of experience calling a game in a college game, but nobody has his experience that they can draw.
Right.
There's not a coach out there that's an offensive coordinator can have the same type of experience as he had in the NFL and as a player and leading up to this moment, and so I take the path that he's had and the journey that he had to this point. I take that over anybody else that can match up, and seeing what he does in spring football and what he did with the program, it was above and beyond what I expected. And so to have him here, he's such an accomplished person as far as football, but that's not what he hangs his hat on. I love the fact that he's
his big 10-gallon hat.
Well, he wants to remind everybody that he's a boot guy now. He'll keep the boots, but it's hard to wear the hat around here. But he's a genuine person with a great heart, and I'm looking forward to having him on the staff, and it's an honor for me to be here with him.
Coach, thanks for being with us today. We appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
We're going to take a break here. We'll come back. More to go.